Hi everyone, so I'd like to talk to you about breathing, more specifically how we breathe and dysfunctional breathing patterns and how this can impact the overall well-being of us. So what do I mean by dysfunctional breathing? Well, in the context of this video, I want to talk about chest breathing versus diaphragmatic breathing. So diaphragmatic breathing is where we utilise the diaphragm, the intercostal muscles, so the muscles that are in between your ribs. We've also got what we call accessory muscles. So these accessory breathing muscles are in the neck, they're in the chest and the back, and these will help us when we exert ourselves. So if we go to the gym, for example, and we need that little bit more air intake, that's just going to help to increase that capacity. Now you can find through chest breathing that these muscles can become more active than they should be, and this could be to do with postural deviations. So you might find that you're slumped, so it could just be like a poor sitting posture. It could be to do with emotional states. There's a number of reasons why, but when you're in this sort of flexed position, it restricts the diaphragm from moving. So when that diaphragm isn't able to move down, you have to be able to create the space somewhere, and generally speaking that's when we lift from here to try and create that capacity. So the accessory muscles in that respect, they're going to get overworked, and they're not designed to be active 100% of the time for 100%. So they become tired, and then you might experience pain, that dull sensation in the neck, in the upper back, potentially could be the lower back as well. And that's all to do with these, the muscle compensatory patterns, where we're utilising muscles that are not meant to do that kind of job. So how can we change that? Well, if you are a chest breather, so you're breathing and you're doing that kind of movement, rather than taking that diaphragmatic breath where you're allowing the abdomen to come out, then you could find, being that chest breather, that these muscles are overactive. So all we have to do is try and retrain the breath and then get that diaphragm working that a little bit more. So I'm going to show you an exercise in a bit that will help to retrain the diaphragm. As well though as muscle imbalances, you may find that the nervous system is involved in this whole scenario. So we've got what we call the sympathetic nervous system, which is what we call the fight or flight scenario. So when you're in situations such as you're driving your car and someone cuts you up and you get that little bit of road rage, you get the adrenaline dump, and then your breathing starts to change. So it might become erratic, so where you're sort of really breathing from here. Okay, so that's where the sympathetic nervous system has become active. Now it's actually designed to do that, so that's not actually a bad thing. But we experience these situations far too much. So if we're sort of thinking sort of hundreds, thousands of years ago, this system would have been sort of when we were chasing prey or when predators were chasing us, we would need it to escape. So in that sense, it's a very, very useful system. But like I was saying, we just are in situations now where we get too stressed. We're in such stressful situations that the sympathetic nervous system is just activated too much. So we need the yin to the yang of the sympathetic nervous system, which is the parasympathetic nervous system, and we call this the rest and digest system. And this is active when we're, like it says, when we're at rest, or the digestive system is working. You know that that parasympathetic nervous system is active. So by retraining our breath through this diaphragmatic breathing, we can also affect our nervous system, so whether the parasympathetic nervous system is activating that a little bit more, all through potentially retraining the breath. So it's not the only thing that will do it, but it is a piece of the puzzle. So with that in mind, just want to give you some facts. So we breathe 16 times approximately per minute, which equates to 960 times an hour, and then total all that up and it's above 23,000 breaths a day. So if we go back to our first scenario of the muscle imbalance, say you're breathing 23,000 times a day, but you're recruiting those accessory muscles, so the muscles in your neck, the muscles in your chest and the muscles in your back. They're not designed for it, they're going to overwork too much. So you can see that picture building now. So we want to retrain this diaphragm for it to be able to function properly, to take the stress off of those accessory muscles and potentially reduce pain. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you the exercise. Okay, so before you practice this exercise, you need to make sure that your back is nice and straight, you're nice and elongated, and that you're nice and relaxed. So this shouldn't feel forced at all. You can do this seated, you can do it standing, you can do it lying down, it doesn't matter. Okay, like I said, as long as your back's nice and straight and that you feel nice and comfortable. From there, what I'm going to get you to do is place one hand on the chest and then one hand on the abdomen. Now, when we perform this, our hands are going to move away from us as we breathe in. As we breathe out, our hands should move back towards us. Now, this is initiated through the hand that's on the abdomen. So this hand should move first away from us as we breathe in, followed by the hand on the chest. As we breathe out, they come back towards us. So it's kind of like if you think about a wave crashing into a shore and then coming back out again, same kind of thing. That really relaxed, smooth process. Hands should move away from us and then they should come back towards us. So placing one hand on the chest, one hand on the abdomen. As I breathe in, and then out. So in, the hands move out, and then out, the hands move towards me. Now I can appreciate that you probably can't see that in the position, so I'm just going to show you from the side, just so you get a better view of it. So in this position, hands are on, taking a breath in, so you can see it's a nice relaxed breathing pattern. I'm allowing the hand on my abdomen to move out first, so I'm connecting with that diaphragm. Okay, I am allowing my chest to move out slightly, but I'm not making it elevate. So I know I said before that chest breathing is a no-no for this, but I'm not taking a breath through here. It's a nice relaxed breathing pattern. I'm allowing my hand to come out from the diaphragm to start with, from the abdomen, and then the hand on my chest, and then I'm allowing it to come back again. I want you to practice this for about 30 seconds to a minute to start with, just so you get that feel for it. This is going to help you connect with which hand is moving first. Just be aware of that you're not lifting through the shoulders, okay? And I just want you to practice, okay? Really simple, but it's going to have a massive impact.